G'day guys, how you going? It's Aura here. Now we've got a new video today just on the PTR. We're still not in beta unfortunately, but the PTR is out. You can go get it yourself if you go to the Warcraft website, go into your account and enable the PTR there. Then you can download it. It was about 20 gig for me, and then you can jump on and have a play around with everything. But today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the character creation screen, which has been completely changed. Probably something that Blizzard should have done a long time ago, I think we all feel. It was very out of date, but nevertheless, we'll go into it now and we'll have a look and we'll give our judgment on it now. Alrighty, so we'll just go from the Alliance side to the Horde, I guess. We'll go down, we'll have a look at the different classes, different aspects, and the other things that they might have added in. Obviously, straight off the bat, you can see here, looks much nicer where you got the character standing here. This is so important too for new players coming to the game. It just looks more visually impressive and it kind of, leads more to hope that there's a lot more to go in the future. Now, as you can see here, obviously with the priests, I mean, look at this, it's fantastic the way that they're up with levitate going, and then they've got all this holy light spilling from the hands. Another notable thing to note that we've got the darkest color of skin here, so that was added as well. Previously it hadn't, so I believe it's been added for a lot of different races too, which is fantastic to happen. So here with the Void Elves, so we've got, I mean, they were one of the new ally races anyway. However, still just good looking models. I think everything's been updated for the most part. Moving on to Dwarves. Now, Dwarves have had significant updates here, and I think they were a class that were kind of left in the dust. I mean, Dwarves have a lot of rich history in terms of throughout the Warcraft lore and the different clans and things like that. And as you can see here, the tattoos on them, and we'll delve into that a bit deeper later, but it's something certainly I think that it was missing, and I've said in a video in the past, is, you want your character to be your character, and you want to be able to design it as intricately and as much as possible. So, I mean, that's an awesome step in the right direction too for us there. Now, moving on to the Lightforged Draenei. I mean, Lightforged Draenei, for me, they're just a normal Draenei with light. It was pretty lazy, I feel. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel, but it's not the best allied race to come into the game. However, as you saw there, we've got the new animation, so as you click onto a different character, they throw off a couple of signature sort of spells, I guess, that kind of give you an introduction to what they might, or the class might entail as you go through and play. So this is a really, really good addition to the selection in your characters. Now, going with the Night Elf, I think one thing that's been commented on a lot, if you turn around here and we can see that they've got leaves throughout their hair. Coming into the customization, I guess we can go into that deeper. However, I think there's been a bit of criticism of people saying that they don't want any leaves in their hair. I mean, small things, but it's like I said when I was talking about the dwarf, it is intricate details that you want to make your character your own. So we'll have a look at that later. Gnome, more or less the same, probably the most annoying race. Darkrai and Dwarf, I guess you could say they are sort of like the Lightforged Draenei in a way, in that they are just a reskin. However, I think that they're a lot richer in the reskin, with the hair, the molten, on the beard, the different tattoos and things like that. So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents anyway. Cold Tyrant, more or less the same, just big fat humans, gotta love them. Draenei, now something interesting that we'll look at too, another thing that they've added is the length of the tail and the customization of the tail. Mechanome's still the same. Now, I believe Worgen have been given a visual update. They've done a lot of work on the facial features, the teeth, the mouth, those sort of things, just to make them look more like, the big scary werewolf that they kind of are based off. Now, Pandaren, more or less the same, gotta love them. Orcs, so Orcs themselves, they've also had a bit of an update in terms of their visual appearance, but also they've been given certain things, new hairstyles, also tattoos. I think that's also very important, that they've been neglected for a long time. Now, Undead have been added in with a new feature, I believe, where there's the full intact undead rather than showing bone and flesh. Obviously in China they don't have any of the bones and flesh, that's all out of the game, so pretty easy transition for them to put in. I think I like it. I'm not too keen on playing something that's falling apart. I like them to be whole and intact, but that's just me. Taurens themselves, oh, there we go, sorry, my mistake. So Taurens do have a tail as well. Of course they do. I wonder if we'll be able to customize that, and we'll see that later. Magheart Orc, the High Mountain Tauren, the Nightborn, all very much the same, a little bit visually updated. Now the Zandalari Troll, same. And the Volpira, of course, with a big bushy tail. I do wonder if we could customize that, that'd be interesting. Now I know it seems like I'm harping on a lot about the tails, but it's an interesting point. But it's not an interesting point in the back of my mind, let me tell you that. Now, Blood Elves have had an addition is that they have had not only the skin color changes as humans did, that was a bit controversial for a few select people, but also the eyes in which that they can have. So I think it was that if the eye color changes, then it technically makes them a highborn elf and they're not Blood Elves. I mean, a lot of semantics to get into, but I think for a new player who wants to get into the game and they're designing their character, and a lot of people who are, you know, looking to do things like that, I don't think the old lore really matters much to them. And I think maybe Blizzard still needs to cater to those people that they're looking to bring in, even though WoW is such an old game. There are still people who don't know about it, and there are still people who have yet to play it. Now, I believe goblins have had a few changes, like the Worgons have, as they came in the same expansion, so it'll be good to see what they've had happen there. Alrighty, so obviously, as you can see here, the first thing to maybe bring, I can't remember. However, I don't think there's been any previous female bald hairstyle, so maybe that's something to look for. We looked at skin color. I mean, the whole new UI that they've updated is just fantastic in terms of it's just easier to create. I mean, they've been leagues behind other games for quite some time. I guess here maybe you could look at the vines, that's referring to their hair. Okay, so yeah, there you go. You can have the vines selected or not. But then more looking to, I believe there was some talk of potentially being able to customize the druid cat form, but that may be once you're in game. Oh, that's cool. I think, yeah, there's a lot of this too, of the changing of the different eye colors, things like that. So these are all things that I think the game's not had for quite some time. Obviously, some characters are getting a lot more sort of customizations than others. So here on the Dark Iron Dwarf, you've still only got this one page, rather the female druid had three separate pages of customization. Now I'm going to have a look at the Draenei tail. I want to see if that customization's in the game as of yet. Yes, it is. Cool. So you've either got short, medium, and long. I think it's really cool. The long tail certainly looks a lot like Frieza from Dragon Ball Z. And I mean, I'd like to see it because the male tail is also a bit stumpier on that. I'd like to see how. So that's the long. So the customization in the tail is mainly for the female. The male only has short and long. And then another thing cool here that you get to actually customize, which is something I think has been, you know, kind of annoying with Draenei and other things like that. You can't actually change the jewelry that they have. So this is actually a fantastic addition. Even though you might not like, you might not have a favorite. At least there will be one that you don't like the least, if that makes sense. However, we'll look into the Blood Elf. So we can look into Blood Elf here. Customize this fella. Once again, so we've got the skin color going from extremely pale to the darkest in the game, and then we've got the same thing. So looking at the eye color here, another once again, the cool customization I think is being able to have, you know, either two dead eyes or one eye, you know, one eye working, one eye dead, etc. I think it's really cool having all this extra customization. The dark green looks fantastic, very reminiscent of the TBC box with Kalthazard on the front, so that's really cool. For the Tauren, you can customize the hell out of their horns and everything like that. You can even give them a headdress. Right. But it doesn't look to see like you can customize their tail at all. They haven't added that in. Yeah, so by the looks of it, the tail customization at this point in time is only for the Draenei. And by the looks of it, it's only for the Draenei and not for even the Lightforged Draenei. The Draenei only have access to the customization of the tail. Okay, and then so here for the female Pandaren, you have the choice of normal. The difference there, I think, maybe will make the skin color, or yes, of the Pandaren female used to dictate whether or not you could have the tail. So now they've just made it uniform that you had a choice. Now looking here with the undead, so like I said, so they've got the options of sort of, you know, your flesh is rotting, it's fresh and it's fine, it's just like a human, but you are undead. Or bony, which was the original, completely, you know, stripped of a lot of flesh off the body. Yeah, so something that's fantastic here for the dwarfs is the different tattoos that you can have, depending on, you know, either their status or where they're from. And then also changing the tattoo color as well. So that's just a little something that I think is really good that they have added into the game. But on that, that's it from me, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all the time that you do spend watching these videos. If you like it, throw it a like or subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Come watch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/auraparty. I stream there as much as I can. At the moment, it hasn't been so much WoW. It's just sort of been variety. I've really been hanging out for either the beta or for Shadowlands to just drop. But either in that, you know, in the time, we're still enjoying ourselves and having some fun. So come check us out there. But put down in the comments what you're most excited about, what customizations you're most excited for. I know I harped on about tails, but I mean, that's just a flavour of the month. We've also got the eyes there too, changing for the blood elves and things like that. But overall, I'm really impressed with this, even though it's, you know, it's better late than never, I guess you could say. It adds so much to the game, and hopefully it'll bring a lot of new players in, and they don't get turned away before they even actually log in. Alrighty, well, thank you very much. I'll see you later. Bye.